Good morning to all of you. So, in this lecture, we are going to discuss the solvent of life, that is water. So, as we know, water is life or solvent for life, but how it is and functionally and structurally involved in building our life, that we will discuss in this lecture. So, water is a mother liquid of all forms of life. It is a vital essence, miracle of nature, and the great sustainer of life. So, all living forms of life were sustained due to water. So, the essentiality of water for living system is quite evident as without water. So, there will be no life if there will be no water. So, let me remind you that uh, or in previous lecture we have discussed how life is originated in water. So the atoms in environment were flow through in a sea-like structure or accumulated at a sea-like structure with the raindrops in earlier environment of earth, and the water facilitate that atoms to combine together with specific chemical bond which will give rise to fundamental biomolecules, and which upon interacting functionally and structurally giving a structural and functional unit of life, that is a cell. So we have to remind the essentiality of water is a continuously evident for origin of life. So it was in a solvent water that the chemical reaction of biological process evolved. So all aspects of cell structure and function are adapted to functional, physical and chemical properties of water. As water is behaving inside cell or outside a cell or inside the microenvironment or cytoplasmic environment of a cell and its external microenvironment, functional environment of a cell is basically defined by the aqueous environment composed mainly of this water. The strong attracting force between water molecules result in a water solvent property. So as we are seeing, the solvent of life, it is given or governed by the attractive forces between water molecules. A tendency of water to ionize it most important to the structure and function of biomolecules. So this ionization tendency of water is and its is governed by its component, basically that is H plus and OH minus. The water molecules and its ionization product, as we have said, H plus and OH minus greatly influence the structural assembly and property of all cellular components. So in previous lecture also we have discussed that if we put a droplet of oil in a water, so the two droplets of oil does not attract each other, but the entropy of or entropy within a biomolecules, the molecules of water, they are forcing them to avoid from each other, and therefore they are forcing them to become accumulate in a single droplet of oil molecule. So this is what the what we can say the speciality of and water, that whatever may be the molecule or another substance involved in a solvent, it is making that solvent to act according to the properties of water. So likewise, our basic biomolecule are assemblies of water surrounding, such as, or more basically, if we say it is an enzyme, proteins, or proteins made up of amino acids with carboxy and amino group, which are again are formed due to surrounding of water. Then most important messenger, that is nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, and most membrane forming molecule, that is a lipid. So water needed out only for biochemical reaction, not only for biochemical reaction but also for transporting substance across a membrane, maintaining body temperature, dissolving waste products for excretion, and producing digestive fluids. So water is a medium in which the first cells arose and the solvent in which most biochemical transformation takes place. The properties of water have shaped the course of evolution and exerts influence on structure of biomolecules in aqueous solution. So as we have discussed, this evolution or the process of evolution is more or exerted due to the surrounding of water or the presence of water with biomolecules, their interaction, their uh, constructive thermodynamic stable structure, energy minimized structure, which brings a superior form of that biomolecules, and these biomolecules raise or their assemblage gives us a cell, and after cell there is tissue, organ, and organism stories in front of you. So many of weak interaction within and between biomolecules are strongly influenced by solvent property of water. Even water insoluble components such as membrane lipid interact with each other in a way dictated by polar properties of water. So as we have already discussed, the two droplets of oil, so how they are not interacting with water, but opposing force or the entropy present in a water molecules making them to come together or making a membrane structure, if we are taking at a cellular level, to form a functional structure. No other substance on earth is abundant as water. So if we take some general considerations about water, it is almost everywhere in air, clouds, ocean, lakes, river, springs, or glacial. In the 5-kilometer layer above the sea level on earth, water is nearly 6 times as abundant as all other substances put together. So it is and measure to imagine or to know the abundance of water on this planet, and none other occur in a three state, that is solid, liquid, and gases. So water occurs, so this the presence of water everywhere is either in form of solid, liquid, or gases. It is water that had conditioned our climate. The difference or the different environmental conditions, climatical conditions are due to water and its different forms. So in more detail, if we look up this mechanism, how it is and maintaining climate. So the water in sea, oceans and the atmosphere in vapor form acts as an accumulator of heat. In hot weather it absorbs heat and in cold it gives up that heat. Thus it keeps the planet warm. Without water our planet would be coolest to sub-zero temperature long ago and all forms of life would have perished. So these forms of life perished due to this uh, uh, due to this functionality of this water and its climatical changing behavior. So it takes 10 liter of water to produce 1 liter of petroleum, 100 liters of 1 kg of paper, 4500 liters for 1 kg of rice, 4500 liters for 1 ton of cement and 20,000 liters to produce 1 ton of steel. This is an roughly estimate gives us an idea of extent of water usage in living as well as producing non-living forms. Water has or water with the water we have to believe that it is an abundant and inexhaustive, but it is merely an illusion rather than reality. The volume of water on earth is about 136,000,000,000 cubic kilometer, which covers nearly or this long digit if we take in percentage, so it nearly covers 70% of earth's surface. The global scenario is that 97% of water is in the sea, 2% locked up in Arctic and Antarctic oceans, and 1% is fresh water. Out of this 1% fresh water, 0.22% is in underground and remaining 0.78 or 78% of world's water falls the river, streams, lakes and ponds. No doubt water is a renewable source, but it is finite too. It has some limitations also. So it has to be used very preciously or in very calculated manner. If we take a roughly daily water requirement of an average person, it falls or it is like this: uh, 15 liter water for cooking and drinking purpose, while 35 to 40 liter we are using for our cleaning, uh, for body cleaning, bathrooms and all usage, while 65 liter for washing and other needs, that sun dry needs and all. So water accounts for 70% or more of the weight of most organisms. So if we are coming again to a biological form or organism, So as we have also discussed that the water, not only water, it is accumulating other biomolecules, biostructure, and facilitating that cell to function properly. So in human adults also total body water accounts for about 70% of the lean body mass. Variations observed are mainly due to difference in fat content. So the individual difference or variation is due to the fat content is different from one another. So in obese male, if we take, water constitute a lower percentage of body weight, that is around 45 to 60% than in lean individual, which will have or which contain 55 to 70% of water. So how we can say it is roughly we are getting 10% variation in an obese person to non-obese, or between fat content to less fat content individual. So the adult lean female have a lower water content, that is 45 to 60%, and value in infants can be range in 65 to 75%. So our normal body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius is maintained mainly because of water is expelled by lungs and skin. However, loss of 10% of water in our body is serious. A loss of 20% is a very fatal condition. In human, water is not evenly distributed between the two major components, intracellular and extracellular of the body. In adult female, or if we take an example of male, in adult male of 70 kg body weight, 70% of water, that is about 30 liters, is found in intracellular fluid. Of this, about 4 liters found in bones, which does not readily participate in fluid exchange. Nearly 30% of water, that is about 12 liters, is found in extracellular fluid. Plasma 3 liters, likewise intestinal fluid around 8.5 liters, and transcellular fluid around 1 liter come under this category. So there is also a display for this uh, complete representation of water distribution in an adult male. As an example, we have taken 70 kg weight, body weight. The maintenance of water balance, the equilibrium between water intake and output, is a crucial aspect of metabolism. An adult in a water balance generally takes in and loss about 2.8 liters of water per day in a temperature climate, and between 3.3 and 7.3 liters per day in tropical climate. So as we have seen here, how the temperature is affecting the water balance in our body. Besides, the water obtained from food and liquid, metabolic water is also made available through oxidation of food in a body. So most specifically, oxidation of 100 gram of each of fat, carbohydrate and protein yields or produce 107 55 and 41 gram of water respectively. Water losses occur by evaporation. It means that water vapor in exhaled air and perspiration and by exertion of urine and the waste fecal waste. So if output of water significantly exceeds its intake, dehydration occur due to diarrhea, vomiting, fever and high environmental temperatures. The dehydration is especially serious in young children because their body pool of water is small, or the amount of water in their body is in a small quantity and hence can be readily depleted. If water accumulates in a tissue, then edema occurs. Edema is often observed in children suffering from one of a disorder, that is a uh, Kwashior- Kwashiorkor nutritional disease caused by inadequate intake of protein. So in Caribbeans, children with this disease are called as sugar babies because of their plump appearance. So this is what and some of and abnormalities due to water. So this is what and very introductory, and it's percentage wise uh, uh, water in our living system or in living world, and how it is affecting if it is an in large quantity or if it is in low quantity. So it is clear that the every cell or every living organism is regulating their metabolic activity, catabolic activity from macromolecular level to physiological level with the help of water and its functionality. So therefore students are requested to draw this table which is showing water distribution in an adult male with respect to body weight, and another table showing daily water intake and output or loss from the human body. So this is about introductory part of water, its percentage wise presence in a planet and within our body. So in next lecture we will discuss the physical properties, structure, weak interactions in aqueous solution, and the role of water in our life in detail. So thank you.